A growing Greenville means some of the same medical issues facing the rest of the country are top priorities here too, including a shortage of key workers. But as Carol Clark found, Greenville's popular reputation just may be an asset when it comes to getting you the care you need.
My old friend, how are you doing? So good to see you too.
Almost 20 years ago, Parkside Pediatrics opened in Greenville County.
There was 2 of us the first year and 3 the second.
Then as patients kept coming, we did have to get strategic and say, how do we want to grow?
Strategy is important because this practice is now part of a group whose growth has taken off the same way growth in Greenville has taken off. The group now has 100 doctors and 800 support people.
Hey. And includes women's services and primary care under the name Tribe 513.
There is not enough primary care physicians.
But Matt Caldwell, president of St. Francis, says the Greenville Top 10 list reputation actually helps recruiting.
So a lot of the recruits that come in think, wow, we're very close to the mountains, we're not far from the beach, it's beautiful.
Prisma Health COO Clarence Civilian agrees. He says Prisma's education arm helps too. It has hundreds of resident physicians training in the upstate.
50% of those residents, they want to stay in South Carolina.
One sector used to help handle growth, urgent care centers. St. Francis, for example, operated 8 in 2019. Today, the system runs 15 with 3 more soon to open. Prisma has 8 in the upstate, 4 of them new, with 5 more set to open later this year.
Most times when individuals go to an urgent care, it gets them, treated more quickly and at the same time less expensive.
Both health system leaders agree that to ensure good coverage, attention needs to be paid to a mix of hospital beds, emergency services, and urgent care. Bon Secours has plans to increase its beds at the downtown hospital.
A lot of times we're at capacity, right? We are trying to be efficient in the utilization of those beds.
It recently opened an ER in Simpsonville. Prisma has a same-day surgery center in the works and an endoscopy center planned for Padewood. In North Greenville, expansion of the Travelers Rest Hospital is a response to growth there.
We're seeing upwards of 50 patients a day.
At Prisma, St. Francis, and Tribe 513, the future is always front and center.
I think we can't grow fast enough, but at the same time, we don't want to grow too fast and lose what we feel like makes us different.
And so the planning never ends.
Sometimes medical care begins when first responders get calls for help. And as more people move into Greenville County, that increases the need for more EMS workers, as well as more law enforcement officers and more firefighters. Rashad Williams speaks with the leaders tasked with addressing those needs every day.
I started here in 1997, and Greenville obviously is not what it is today.
Greenville Chief of Police Howie Thompson has had a front row seat to Greenville's growth over the years.
The secret about Greenville's out.
As the city continues to grow in the ranks, so does the number of people who rely on law enforcement and first responders.
Last year in 2023, we answered over 93,000 calls. That was an increase of about 7% over 2022.
The Greenville Police Department employs more than 200 officers.
So I have the 4 zones that we are policing and the Central Business District, and we divide up the zones based on call volume, and so I could see us shifting that. We might have to add a zone.
With more tires on the asphalt and more foot traffic for festivals and gatherings.
Last year, the police department worked over 500 special events.
The need for a uniformed presence has only increased as visitors flock to the city.
Talking to people, you get to spend more time with them and realize they're not born and raised, maybe here in Greenville, South Carolina. And it just adds a different perspective to how many people do move here.
Hobart Lewis has served as sheriff in Greenville County for 4 years with 20 years in law enforcement.
From 2020 to where we are now at the beginning of 2024, actually our solvability rates are up, our murders are down, violent crimes are down this year.
He says the budget does not always match the growth in population and demand for law enforcement.
In the last 6 or 8 years seem to kind of be the biggest growth spurt that I've seen.
Making it tough at times to add positions. Another issue.
We have more missing persons than we've ever had.
Sheriff Lewis created a new missing persons unit where search and rescue efforts are conducted immediately.
Whether it's a runaway or Alzheimer's.
Out of 179 missing persons last year, all were found. The Greenville Fire Department is also filling Greenville's demand for services.
Last year we responded to over 14,000 calls.
Chief Brian Horton says the 162-person department has seen about a 9% increase in calls since the height of the pandemic. 2021, more than 12,000. 2022, more than 13,000. 2023, more than 14,000.
We run more medical now. It's probably our largest call volume is medical. Behind that's MVA's, motor vehicle accidents.
Greenville sits at an incredibly busy connecting corridor between Charlotte and Atlanta.
It's not just people that live here and visit here, but we protect 2 major interstates.
Chief Horton says as more people call Greenville home, the department is actively working to meet the national standard of a 4-minute response time.
If you draw a circle, the 4 minutes is a huge area, but the road infrastructure also affects how you get to those areas.
The department is constantly looking to renovate old fire stations while figuring out where more are needed based on call volume. Expansion is also happening for the police department. PD will soon be moving into this new facility on Halton Road, adapting and expanding as each group works to keep Greenville safe.
One recruiting tactic that's worked well for Greenville Fire is a new pay structure, making them among the best paid firefighters in South Carolina.
Still to come on Chronicle.
Greenville is a great place to start a business, to move your business, to grow your business.
Why Greenville's proven it's an ideal location for more and more companies to move and expand.